Bootcamp is about to begin. Rise up, it's time to log in. LP Army will teach you the way to be LP warrior starting this day. We live for the fees we make. Soon it is profits that you will take. The LP Army marches strong. The best in soul and help we sing our song. We live for the fees we make. Soon it is profits that you will take. The LP Army marches strong. The best in soul and always sing our song. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic fees, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Their own bull we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Spot, copy, ask, use them all. Winning's the task, we heed the call. Bootcamp, join our ranks so tight. Listen to the Goose Gang and gain your might. We will print and we will earn. Once you gain his tokens burn. Join the ranks of the brave and bold. Story of the LP Army told. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic fees, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Their own bull we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Rise. Take the course and earn your role. March with us and earn some soul. Dodge the rug and join the fight. We gain together LP Army might. Make your position and join the pool. Post your wins with Alex's tool. LP Army, we fight to win. Your journey is about to begin. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic fees, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Their own bull we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Take the course and earn your role. March with us and earn some soul. Dodge the run and join the fight. We gain together LP Army might. Oh.
GMET, you guys, man, that never gets old. I've heard that song about 1,000 times and I love it every time. Anyway, thank you guys all for joining us. I see we got Jupe and Juice again in the house. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So here we are, boot camp 20.
Never too late to pick up some new skills.
That's right. Day 2. Just our disclaimer again. I'm not a financial professional. This is not financial advice. You risk your own money at your own peril. do your own research, all that sort of thing. And as always, graduating this course and earning roles does not grant you a MET allocation or airdrop or anything like that. Your reward is the free education. And I hope that after you take this course, you will move on to printing fat money and changing your life. That's our goal here. So anyway, please use the chat to ask your questions. I have a few instructors here today to help you out. Try and follow along. Once again, you do need to complete both days of this course if you wish to graduate. If you already have the bootcamp trainee role in the Meteora Discord, you don't have to do day one again. But if you don't, you need to complete and pass both days in order to get the coveted LP Army private role. And as always, I love feedback. Honest feedback is great. Please let us know in the Discord if you have anything that you would like for us to improve on. And I mentioned this just a second ago, but just to make this really clear how the roles work. If you pass day one, you're going to get the bootcamp trainee role in the Meteora Discord. If you pass day one and day two, you will get LP Army Private in both the Meteora Discord and the LP Army Discord. If you fail day one, I am sorry you don't get anything. Please try again. Yeah, so that's how all that works. All right, here are our bootcamp resources. Again, we shared this yesterday. If you didn't get a chance to get this yesterday, please scan it. It's got links to documentation, key DeFi terms, really excellent X accounts to follow, some strategies and information on the DAM V2. Really just a ton of information here and links to some tools. So give that a little scan if you can. And let's see here. Yep. Okay. 645 people watching. All right. So let's get on to it, guys. Surviving and thriving in LP. You need to set yourself some rules, have a systematic approach to this. The name of the game is consistency and risk management. Figure out how much you're willing to lose per trade. Figure out when you will take profit and know your risk tolerance. Practice, practice, practice. Practice small, then push yourself to try at higher amounts. Master the platform and master your feelings. Getting emotional about this can really have a really negative impact on this. So try to detach emotion from that. If you're getting really upset over the amount of money you're losing, if you lose, then back down the amount that you're going. Learn how to be consistent. And of course, work with others. This is not a zero-sum game. We're in it together. It's PPP. Get involved, share. That's what's great about the LP Army. So have your method, practice, test, learn from your mistakes, and work together with others. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about safety. This is very important. One of the best and first tools that you need to use is rugcheck.xyz. There is a link to it on every single token in every single pool. Just click the little button right there and you click on the rug check and it'll take you straight to the rug check for that very specific token. You're looking for things that are really bad attributes, like can it be mintable, can it be frozen, or like you can't sell it, high ownership by a very few numbers, copycat token, that's bad. Here's some actual examples here. Now there's some things that are not necessarily really bad, like low amount of LP providers. You may see that on a fresh coin. But just use caution with this stuff. Here is another example, freeze authority. I mean, stay away from that. Single owner holdership. Anything above 20 is really kind of getting pretty dangerous. So look out for that. Um, excuse me, so sorry. So rug check, very good tool to start with. Um, there's also bubble maps. And this again is linked on every single token in every single pool. It'll take you straight to this. And this is a great tool that can show you the distribution of the token amongst wallets. Each individual bubble represents a wallet. We can even see little like clusters. This is like transfers between wallets. You can see like here it's going both ways. Here it's just going out to these, but there's not very much of this. The bigger the bubble, the more tokens that they hold in that wallet. You may see here on the wallets list, like this is probably that liquidity pool. So that's okay. Another thing that I like to look for is, are there a bunch of wallets with the exact same amount or percentage? That can be a warning sign. Here's an example of a really nasty one here. This one wallet right here is holding 57% of the token. This is probably a rug, so I would avoid that one. And you see these clusters here, how much they own collectively. That can be nasty stuff. And here's a really ugly one. This is just danger all day. This is guaranteed rug. All these guys are clustered together and they are just waiting to rug you. And yeah, so let me answer this right here. You don't need to register so much for this course. There's the forms that you fill out. You'll put all the information that you need to right there in the form. And then that link is broken. I will check into that. Yeah, I'll see what's going on with that. Sorry about that. So next thing in safety that I want you to look out for is something called wash trading. It's trading done by bots. It's fake volume. And it's really easy to see on a chart. You see this very even and unnatural trading action right here, and you see gaps where probably that bot crashed for a bit before they started to back up. And they're just trying to create this fake volume to attract other traders. Say, hey, this thing is running, it's hot, come on in. And, they'll eventually rug. They all will. It usually happens on new tokens, but it can happen on old ones. I have seen some that run for days and days. And while, you can get in there and you can earn money sometimes, but a lot of times that volume is being routed through some other really cheap pool and you're not catching any of that bot volume. It can happen, but I would strongly recommend to avoid this type of pool. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about finding LP opportunities. And the first one of the methods is within our own LP Army Discord, there are some bots that you can use to find this. The three that we're looking at is the DLMM Ops bot, the multi-day ops, and the Metlex terminal. You can use the help command to get a list of how the bot works, but just showing you some of the output of some of these. The DLMM Ops bot here, it's going to show you like the token pair, whether it's trending up or down, the TVL, what bin step and base fee is being used. The little green check mark means that it's passing like 4 things on the rug check. That doesn't mean you shouldn't still rug check, but this is just kind of like the top 10 at a given moment. So this may help you find, hey, here's a nice pool that's running. Obviously, you still want to do your research, but this is a great way to help find some pools to enter. And then there's multi-day. So multi-day, the idea is, stuff that's running for, more than a day, really overnight. Sometimes it could be a really long time. Some of the information is a little bit different, but a lot of it is basically the same. It's telling you 6-hour price change, the TVL, bin step base fees, and all of this, how old it is. So, again, this is another way. Multi-days are great, especially if it's a really well-established token. If you're looking for something that's maybe not so volatile, a little bit safer play, this may be the thing for you that you want to do. And then we have the METLEX terminal. So every time a new DLMM pool is created, it's going to generate a little page right here. And it's the 2 tokens. There's the contract address for it, a link to GMGN, Ape, Jupiter, rug check, bubble maps. It's got a little bit of rug check information here. Verified, it means, verified with Jupiter. That's what it means. So this one doesn't really look too risky. But then here's another one that there's actually some bad things. And this is information directly from rug check. So when you're looking at that, you say, Mint Authority is still enabled. I may not want to do that one. So you stay away from it. But that's one method here. And now in our LP Army Discord, you have the LP callers or the alpha callers. And if you want to get notified whenever one of our alpha callers says, hey, here's a hot token that's running, go to the role selection channel, add the DGen role, and you'll get tagged when that happens. You'll see in there the DGen calls. That's where you'll get tagged. And now, again, just because one of these experienced dealing members made a call on a token, it does not mean that you should not do your own research, that you shouldn't just ape in without looking. Things can still rug. Nobody has a crystal ball and knows what's going to happen. The multi-day DGens, that's a great place to talk about long-term token LPing. And then the DGen-DLMM chat, it's one of my favorite chats. You can learn so much just by hanging out in that channel. People are sharing tokens, discussing strategies, all kinds of things. And you will also see below that, like in the DGen calls, they create a thread for these various tokens, and you'll see that, right here below. If you go in and chat in that, then you'll have that separate thread where they're talking about just that token. So that's a great place to look, and scroll all the way to the bottom, make sure, oh no, it's rugged already, or has it rugged, see what's happening. Okay. So now one of my favorite tools is metlux.io. It is linked in every single pool. It's currently called like the DLMM PNL and points tracker or something like that. But metlux.io, great community tool created by one of the LP Army leads, Alex. And he did just make a change to the app. And I'm going to show you a lot of these tools here, but it's a way to help you find new tokens and also generate P&L cards, which I will show you how to do near the end of this course. So I am going to stop sharing that, and then we're going to go to another one right here. All right, so metlux.io, you're going to start out here on the pro screen. You have a lot of choices of what to filter by. You can sort by things and say, show me the 5 minute, 1 hour, and 24 hour, all that stuff. You can sort by volume, market cap, and all kinds of stuff. The other really cool thing, and this is very similar to Juke Pro, but with some extra stuff to it. You can, if you want to see if there's a damn V2 pool, you can click this button and it'll check to see, is there a damn V2, and it's pointing out to it, and that'll link you straight to that. Also here, it'll show you if there are any DLMM pools, like this one, for example. There's 2 of them. So you can click that and it brings this up and it gives you a little bit of information on that. And if you want to go straight to the pool, you can click app, or you can click edge and it'll take you straight there. Now, for those who don't know what the difference is between app and edge, edge is simply the test version of the main app. It's all the same data, it's same blockchain, everything the same. It's just where the team is testing new features before they bring it into app. So either one should work for you just fine. Like here's, pull this one up. We'll see a little bit more information on this. You can see how many fees have been generated in the last 24 hours, how much TVL this specific pool has, and how much volume has come through that pool in the last 24 hours. I mean, personally, like I said before yesterday, volume is king. Okay. So this pool right here, this is an 80 bin step, 0.2% base fee. It's got a TVL of $71 and $40 in volume. That's awful. That's not the pool to join. This one right here, the 10 bin step and the 0.1 base fee, that is clearly the top one to choose. All these others look absolutely terrible. So if I wanted to LP this, then this would be the pool to pick. It's got a lot of other data on there too. Let me see. Let me find something else that's maybe not so. Oh, give me sort high to low. Oh, and that one, if you wanted, this one doesn't have a DLMM pool. It does have a button to take you to create one, but I do not recommend as a new LPer that you start out by creating DLMM pools. There's right ones and wrong ones, and there does cost money to do that's not refundable. Until you have a good grasp on that, I would not create them. One of the fun things in our LP Army Discord is we have a handful of people called bin masters who can create pools. You can tell them, hey, here's one. It looks like it's running. I'm interested. They'll take a look. If they think it's good, then they'll create that pool and pay for the bin arrays for you. But that's not going to happen necessarily every time. Let's see what where to go. I was looking for a brand new one here. What's newest first? 5 minutes. Some of these are old, and it's telling you the age of the tokens right there. Here's one that's 3 minutes old, but there's no pool. 5 minutes, no pool. Let's see. Here's one that's 1 hour old, no pool. Trying to find one here. Here's one that's only 23 hours old. So like if you were looking for something that's new, lost it already. Yeah, that's going to happen. Man, create. Anyway, that's the idea here. You can find stuff there. Okay, I'm going to move on. And I'm actually going to copy the CA of this token right here. I'm just picking one. I'm going to go to the pools tab. Excuse me. I'm going to paste the contract address in there and hit the rocket. And there I see the art, a little bit of rug check information there. And then here, this is just all the pools for this particular token. Similar to that other screen, but there's a lot more info here and a lot of links. Like this will take you to the GMGN chart, Juke Pro. There's some other tools here that you can pick from. You'll see the estimated return on these. So this is one way that you can go and help find a really good pool. Like if you find a token that you like, this is a great way to find a good pool for that. Help you choose in your selection. And then the DEX tab. You can search by one or two tokens. I'm just going to go with the same one here. Put in the contract address and click the rocket. And we wait for it to load. Okay, so now the difference between this one and the one that I just showed you, you've got some of that safety stuff right here, bubble maps and rug check, that you can pull that up and look at it. This is telling you the price change over the last 5 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours, 24 hours. But this is showing you what it looks like across the whole market. You'll notice this pool right here is actually a radium pool. Here's a Meteora DLMM pool, an Orca pool, and so on and so forth. You can kind of see where the volume is throughout. It will also show, let's see if I can find one. There we go. Here's one, Meteora, and it says DYNE2 on it. That's dynamic, or the DAM V2. So this is not just DLMM, but also the DAM V2. The DAM V1 is not included in this. So yeah, and there's links to everything right here. Okay, and then the DLMM tab, or the top 100 by today's fees, and you have some filters here. Say only show me stuff that's greater than 2%. I can sort by certain times. And now this is just helping me. I'm actually trying to pick something here that maybe looks good, right? Now, I want you to see this here. You'll notice that there's almost $10,000 worth of TVL in this pool, and it's got $8.1 million of volume in the last 24 hours. That sounds amazing. Sounds really amazing. But notice how there's no information right here. I'm going to click on this and let it open up. And I'm going to show you why this one is not the one to go for. As it loads. And right here, under this warning, we can see, I'm just hovering over that. We see 5 warnings. And the top one right there in red, not sellable. This token may not be sellable. So if you deposit into this pool, you will lose money. So watch out for those. Like here's another one. I could see $101,000 in TVL and over $400,000 of volume. This might be good. We can see it looks like it's up. There's not very many transactions on it though. So maybe that's not the way to go. Let's look at, let's see, this one looks like it's dumping. This one is definitely dumping. Here we go, fraud coin. Let's see what's going on with that. TVL 19,000, volume 652,000, 100 bin step, 2% base fee. That's a pretty decent combination for a meme coin. So I'm going to click app and open it up and see what's going on with this one. Okay, so warnings, these are okay. It's just not a verified token and it's fresh. Let's see, connect my wallet, please. Okay, looks like that's rugging me. Yep, RPC is fine. Okay, we'll come back to that. Anyway, this is a great place to go and find something that's already established. You just kind of have to read these and make a good choice. If you want, you can copy the contract address of these, you know, go to the chart, look at it there, and do that. Now we also have the Pro Mode button, which will enable the charts for them. And I'm going to skip past those rugs and that one. I can actually see the chart here. It's going to take a second for it to load. There's a lot of data here. And while we're waiting, I'm going to check the chat. Yeah, metlex.io. One of the best tools you'll ever use in your DLM journey. Okay. Let's see if we think loaded here. It's still not loading. Hopefully my internet's not rugged. All right. Well, I'm not going to wait all day for that to happen. So I'm going to just move on from here. I think you guys get the point, right? Let's go back to our presentation. Okay. Okay, so now a little bit about reading charts. You need to understand volume and market cap. You know, looking at something, is the token on its way up, going down, will it range? Range means is kind of a sideways motion within a certain section, and you know how to pick a range, choose the right pool, because there's always, as I showed yesterday, there's a lot of choices. You need to pick the right one for it to work. Okay, so some useful indicators that you can use for charting. You know, you use whatever you want, but these are some of the ones that we recommend trying. The first is the MACD or MACD indicator. So you've got a lot of information here. Looking at the blue line and the orange line, whenever the blue line crosses below the orange line, then the token is going down. And then whenever it crosses back over, it's going back up. You will see the red and green here. These are buys and sells. The dark green is a strong buy trend. There's way more buys than sells. As it turns a lighter green, that buying is kind of slowing down. Yeah, and the same is true with the sells. The red, you know, the dark red is more of a dump or a sell off, and is lightened up. So you can see what's kind of going on. The bigger these are, the bigger the pump or the bigger the dump on the token. So this is a nice little thing. It's a lot of data there all in one little thing. So anyway, the next one that we have is the RSI indicator. This one is very simple. There's not a lot to it. You've got the 70 line, the 50 line, and the 30 line. And this is the price action. When this line goes above the 70, it can mean that that token has been overbought and it's time for a reversal. That's going to go back down. And if it dips below the 30, then the token may be oversold and it's time for it to come back up. If it stays in there, it may be ranging a bit, but this can kind of tell you, what might happen next. So yeah, potential reversals of the things is what we're looking at. Okay, and then next, this one, the Heiken Ashi candles. It's not really a charting tool. It's a different type of candle. We should all be familiar with candles here. We'll see on the top, these are just standard candles. Green is pump, red is dump. You've got wicks, all that stuff. The Heiken Ashi looks a little bit different. And what it's really kind of trying to tell you is what's the trend here. If you notice in the top right here, we will see some green and red candles, right? But on the Heiken Ashi, it's all only green, and a lot of these wicks are trimmed off, okay? So this is telling me that this is a very strong pump right here. And the opposite is true on a dump. Like here, we see some red, we see some green, but here it's pretty much all red, no wicks really. So that's really telling you this is on a downtrend. So you can change your candles to kind of get you a better idea of what's the trend here. And then the volume profile visible range, or the VPVR. This is basically buys and sells, okay? The yellows are sells and the blues are buys, and it's how much. So in this section right here, what we have is a lot of volume. So there was a lot of volume, a lot of buys and sells happening right down here. In this area right here, there's not quite as much volume that happened. And then up here, it's picked up quite a bit. So you may want to use this as kind of an indicator of where you want to set your range, okay? Because volume's king, right? You're not making so much money if your range is way up here or down here. But if it's in here and it's staying within this range, that's where you're getting the volume. That's where you're earning the fees. Okay. Now, before we move on, I'm actually going to demonstrate some of that, actually. So let me change screens again here. Here we go. That stuff's still loading, but I am going to pick a token. Let's go with this one right here. And let's get rid of that. Reload this page. See if that helps. Clear that out. And the tool that I'm using right now is called GMGN. And the reason why I like GMGN over maybe say some other tools out there is because it's giving me a lot of your tools like Dex Tools or Dex Screener. They're going to show you the chart just for that individual pool. And this is more of an aggregation of the market. So I like to see the bigger picture here. We'll see, our little charting tools. We can see where it was pumping and where it was kind of ranging right here for a bit, some dumps, that sort of thing. We'll see the RSI here. We can see it was oversold a little bit and it bounced right back up. And then here we'll see most of the volume is happening in this range right here. There's a good bit down here too. And so if I was to pick a range on this, I would select, and this is one of my favorite tools, on the projection, the price range measure. I picked that. I actually pinned it up here. But what I can do here is I'm starting here at the current price, and then I just draw, and I go down. I'm looking at the bottom here. It says, okay, this looks like maybe the bottom. That's only about 5.8%. Maybe that's what I would want to choose on that. That's really not that deep. But just looking historically over that token, I may want to only go down a little bit more. You can go much wider, and that is a little bit safer play to go. But you know, you just kind of have to figure it out. This is kind of a long-term token, and same with the up. You know, you can go and set it up. You know, you can set your range really high on the prayers for a pump, but you're spreading out your liquidity there. All the volume is happening right here. So I may only go up 8, 9, 10% on this one. Let me pull up a little bit more volatile token, because that one that we were just looking at, and I'll go ahead and talk about some of the things here on GMGN. We'll see the top 10 holders, how much the dev still holds, how many people hold this token, or how many wallets hold the token. Some risk information there. I come down here, I can see the market cap. This is a 79 million, so it's kind of high market cap. That's cool. This is more of a long-term token. And then these indicators right here, this is how much price change in the last 1 minute, 5 minutes, 1 hour, 24 hours. When you click, it's going to tell you right here how much volume has happened in the last 1 minute. If I click to the 1 hour, it'll show me how much volume has happened in the last hour. Right next to that is buys and sells and the net buy. In the last 1 hour, there's been $45,000 worth of sells overall. So you take these two numbers, do the math, and you get the net buy out of that. So that's something that I like to look at, particularly on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. You know, if something is within a small bit, I'm not too worried. If I start seeing very large swings, that may be the signal that it's time to go, or whatever, you know, maybe a big pump, maybe a big dump. I'm going to go to a smaller market cap token right here. This one is only $549,000. There's $1,000 worth of volume in the last 1 minute. 24 hours, 4.5 million. That's what's going on with this one. I'm actually going to show you the bubble map on this. It's not labeled anywhere here, but there is a little icon. I don't know if you guys can see this, but right down here, there's a little button for the bubble maps. We'll just take a look because we want to be safe. And we'll hopefully this will load.
HMC, real quick. There's a
Yep.
question in the chat, and that's a pretty good one for everyone to know too.
Okay. Pop it up for me. Oh yeah, I can totally show you how to enable those. I will do that. All right, cool. I'll get back to that as soon as I show you the bubble map here. So here we're seeing a little bit of clusters here, but this cluster here is only 3.69% of the total ownership. 1.54. These don't look so bad. And you can uncheck that and just look at it all. This number one, this top wallet right here that's holding 9.3%, it's pump swap. So that's a pool. So I don't really worry about that. You can see it's hidden. If you don't, it looks like this, and then everything looks tied together and it's not good. And you can see the Meteora pool down there. That it's kind of giving you false information because people are going in and out of that pool. It's not really a cluster, it's people interacting with the pool. So that's why they kind of hide that by default. And where did that go? I lost where that icon was. Okay. So anyway, bubble maps. And I will tell you, so, all right. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Up here, the candles. Right now I'm using standard candles. I would use the Heckin Ashy, and you'll notice that it changed. It smoothed these out so I can see these greater dumps and the bigger pumps. It's a lot more clear what the trend is going on there. Right now I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. When I'm looking at a fresh meme, this thing is only 1 day old. I like to look at 30-second, 1 minute, 5-minute charts. Just helps me see what's happening right here. This token is really, this is probably not the best place to start out with this. It may be dying off, but let's just say that it was a little bit newer, right? And I wanted to choose a range. You can use this tool to do that and go and select it. And this is telling me the bottom down here is 53%. And that most recent peak is 91%. But I'll tell you, and we'll discuss it more here in a bit, a lot of degens, what they're doing whenever they're getting into fresh memes where, reading the chart, it's really hard to get a lot of information reading a brand new chart. One of the best things to do there is just go really low, like 70, 90%. So you just do that. Coming on down here, we see our trades, what's going on. This thing has information, tells you whether or not something's a bundler or a bot. If this was bought on GMGN, if it's a fresh wallet. We see things here. You can see, are there any KOLs involved in this? What are they doing? Are there any whales? There's no whales involved in this one. You'll see bundlers here, insiders here. Now, sometimes this information is inaccurate. You could be LPing and your wallet gets tagged as a bundler. You're really not. It's got an icon to tell you if a wallet is sold all, a little sweeping broom there. I really could spend like all day on GMGN, but I'm not going to. Finding these indicators, you just click the little FX button right here. You click that, and you can search for them. If I type RSI, it's going to come up with the relative strength index. And if you just put the little, you can favorite things so that it's easier for you to find, just like this. If you really want to melt your brain, turn on the Ichimoku cloud, and you'll have a really fun time trying to decipher all of that. But yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay. So let's see. Did we have any other charting questions? Nope. Okay. We'll get more into putting all of this stuff into practice here in a minute. Let's change back to our presentation. Okay, so now we're going to talk about advanced DLMM strategies. Classic one-sided spot, but here I've stacked it. I've got a base layer of SOL going on. So while the price is at the low end, I'm still earning some fees. This is not always the way to go, but you'll notice here that I left some blank space above it. I didn't buy the other token. I didn't deposit the other token, but I left some room for the other token because as this comes down, goes back and forth, I'll earn some fees in that other token. So I'll claim that, and then I put it back into that position, just that other token, into a bid ask, so that if it pumps up, I'm selling that other token at higher prices and I'm earning fees along the way. The next one is one that the toothpaste tube coined by Geek Lad. It's got a base layer of spot. And then you'll notice that, the SOL, he's got all in spot here, and he's compounded and added the other token in a spot and bid ask. Just the idea is, as the price goes up, it's like squeezing the toothpaste out of a tube. You're getting the most out of this as it goes up. So that's the toothpaste tube strategy. The next one, and this is perhaps the most popular, it's also one of the simplest. The best degens out there use what's called the bid ask flip. Very simply put, it's a one-sided SOL bid ask only position, and quite frequently they will go very wide with this, particularly on a new meme coin. The idea here is you're preserving your capital. You're not buying too much of the token up here. And when it does go down, they will withdraw those tokens and then redeposit just that meme in a one-sided bid ask. So it's really just kind of buying low and selling high, right? I know a Turkish guy named Keklebek who bought a brand new Volkswagen Golf car just doing bid ask flip. So this works. I promise you it works. It's great. And then we have one coined by Mario just called bid ask chill, and it's simply a two-sided bid ask going really wide. Like this one, he's going on USDC SOL. It's just setting it wide and just letting it sit and forgetting about it. I don't know that I would do that on a fresh meme that's very volatile, but if you got something that's maybe a little bit more established, you want to go wide and set a bid ask only and, walk away for the day, this may be a good strategy for you to do. Okay, now this just kind of heavy metal cooks dealing art. The point of this is to show you what you can do with liquidity. You can make some really insane shapes with this. Like here, the sinking sailboat, I was actually doing something called a top curve blast, which is very advanced, and it's a great way to lose money, but it's also a great way to win money. It's like betting all your money at the casino roulette table on one number. But anyway, what I did on this one was I went in with a top curve blast on a meme, and then I compounded some of those fees into another bid ask higher than that. So hopefully it pumps, and I'll sell all that for up that. The very first one that I did was the cowboy hat. I was doing a two-sided curve, and then I said, you know what? The bid ask is awesome. It's great to utilize that. So I withdrew some of my tokens on either side and then put them back in as bid ask and made the cowboy hat. Now, is it very effective? Yeah, that's debatable. But after that, I just started doing all this for fun, called fucking around and finding out. But moving on, this is another really great example. I want to talk some more about the bid ask flip. Okay. And this one, one of our great goose called You Win did this very simple explanation. Do this when price dumping. Do this when price pumping. And that's it. Now, Chief, who was here and then he disappeared, this is one that he did a very long time ago, but he made this nice, pretty art for us, a token called Billy. He was looking at the chart and said, okay, this looks like it may go down a little bit here. It may dip. So he opened a one-sided SOL bid ask, and he picked his range. It looked like maybe this was the bottom, or it's what he chose. So anyway, he set that up, and as the token went down, he was left with all Billy. So he withdrew. He didn't close the position. He just withdrew and put all of that token back in a one-sided bid ask. The token eventually went up, and whenever it reached this point, he was left with all soul again and a whole bunch of fees and profit and a big win. So there we go, the bid ask flip. Now, dealing with impermanent loss. We talked about impermanent loss and divergent loss. And what we're really trying to talk about now is, what do you do when your DLMM position is out of range? Okay, you have several options. The first one is just wait. Be patient. If you think that this token could come back into your price range, just don't do anything. Just wait. Meditate, listen to some heavy metal, do whatever. Just don't do anything. Just wait. It may come back. Another thing that you can do is open a one-sided bid ask at a lower price range to try and offset any of those losses. Like if we're looking at this, here I have 4 positions that they've all gone down out of range. And so I can go lower and just create a one-sided bid ask in the hopes of capturing even more fees to offset these losses. Will that always work? No, but I have seen many cases where it does in fact work. Another option is to take that impermanent loss and reposition your liquidity. And I have done this before, like token was sitting at a certain range and then it dropped way down and it didn't look like it was going to come back. I wasn't really sure. So what I did was I withdrew my liquidity and moved it down to that lower range and put it in there. And the hope is that it stayed within that range long enough for me to earn enough fees to overcome my losses. And it has worked. It's not always going to work, but it can. If you think you can do it, go for it. Another option is to simply quit before it gets worse. If a token is rugging and you don't think there's any chance of it coming back, or it's extremely unlikely, you know, it's better to take a 50% loss on something than it is a 90 or 100% loss. Now, that being said, I have experience where I'm like, okay, this is looking terrible. I give up. There's no way this comes back. I pulled out, sold at a loss, and then it goes and pumps later, and that's aggravating. But what I will tell you guys is throw away the rearview mirror and move on. But it's, again, important to reiterate, when you withdraw liquidity, when you are out of range or you're in impermanent loss, divergent loss, you make your impermanent losses permanent. So how do you decide on what to do on these things? There's not a simple answer on that. It takes some time and experience and practice. And I can tell you that even the best DLMMers still get it wrong sometimes. You know, you think there's no way this is coming back, or quit, and then it comes back, and then you're like, you know, but sometimes you just need to have a little bit of patience, but learn from what happens, study, make mistakes, and learn from that. Okay, so now what do we do with the fees that we earned? Okay, you can claim them and compound them right back into that position. It's usually just maybe the one token that you don't want to keep. You know, if like you're sold in some meme or whatever, just compound that right back in there to the position. Sell those tokens and earn fees on them on the way. Another thing that you can do, and I've done this plenty, is claim those fees and open a position, a new position, at a price range higher than the current position. Typically, I'll use a bid ask for this, and just if you think it may pump and go up, and you'll sell those at a higher price and earn some extra fees along the way. Awesome, bonus money. Another thing that I do, and I do it frequently on tokens that I'm just really not sure, I'm not positive that it's going to pump, is I will claim and sell those fees immediately, locking in those profits. You know, if you've collected, say, $10 in fees, um, if you wait until that thing dumps even further before you sell it off, well, that $10 is now worth less. So I would like to sometimes lock in my profits by claiming and selling, and I may do that several times throughout the position, just depending on what I think it's going to do. Another option is simply claim the fees, hold the token, and sell it at a higher price if that token pumps. You know, some people will do that with the moon bag. And you know, there's not a all or nothing option here. You could sell half and then hold the moon bag. You could put a portion in, you know, you can do whatever. Just you kind of have to figure out what you like to do and then go off of that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to put some of this all together and DLMM all of this, and I will, while I'm changing gears, Photon Auto, do we have anything that maybe I skipped or that we need to cover?
No,
Or
it's
question?
looking good. It's looking
Looking
good.
good. Sweet.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right. So here I am on the main DLMM page. I'm looking at some tokens. I showed you guys earlier how to pick something, but right here on the main page, I want to say, show me the 30-minute volume. What's moving the most in the last 30 minutes? This is one that we looked at earlier. This looks awesome, right? A little bit of TVL and an amazing amount of volume. And look at this really high percentage. But this is a not sellable token, warning, danger. So we're just going to pretend that doesn't even exist. Right now, it looks like JLP is ripping. And some of these others, useless. I'm going to click on useless to see what's going on here because I see there's a little bit of volume going over here. Let's see what the 24-hour volume is on useless. $22 million of volume on $3.5 million of TVL. That looks pretty sweet to me. But man, there's a whole bunch of pools here. If you remember what I said earlier, there can be a ton of pools. Anybody can create a pool. It doesn't mean that it's a good pool. Here, there's $44,000 in the 400 bin step and 2% base fee pool, but it's getting almost no volume at all. It's because this is just not ideal. This is a very well-established token. It takes a lot of movement for that to happen. When you're looking at a brand new, fresh meme coin, it's first launched, you will frequently see things like 200 bin step, 125 bin step, 100 bin step with 10%, 5% fee pools. These are the best choices whenever something is fresh and new. When it's really volatile, a lot of price action happening, you want those high fees because something with a low market cap, something that's extremely volatile, you can't trust it. It may rug on you. You need those extra fees to offset losses. Over time, though, more pools established, volatility drops, maybe a little bit of volume drops, you may have to move to another pool. One of the classics in that case you will see is a 100 bin step 2% base fee pool. Even the 1%, 80 and 1, it's also, you'll see that quite commonly. The 20 bin step, I've even seen a 20 bin step 5% base fee or 20% one. Those are great. Over time, and especially for an established project token or something like this token's been around for a while. Usually what you're looking for is the 20 bin step and 0.2% base fee pool. And we could see this is the one on top, almost $3 million here with almost $20 million in volume. So we're going to click on that and go right on in. I already know this stuff is did. We're just going to pretend I already did the reg check on it because I did earlier. I actually have the chart for it right here. Excuse me. I'm going to zoom out. I'm actually going to look at the 15-minute chart here. Okay. And I'm using my mouse to scroll back and forth here. And I can widen that by holding down the control key. So I'm moving it. So I'm just kind of seeing where's the action here. I'm going to draw my price tool, see what's the difference between the top and the bottom here. And that is 56%. Again, this is a 15-minute chart. So this can happen over several days, like this right here, this price point that happened 6 days ago. Okay. So what I would want to do here is look at first, I'm going to draw, and I'm going to go down. I think probably the bottom on this one is probably about right here, which is reading at 37%. If I want to be extra safe, I can come down here about 57, 60%. Again, this is more of a multi-day token. I may feel a little bit better or maximize my capital efficiency by going here because this is not a meme. It's not likely to rug too much. Maybe I'll just go right here, 36% on the down. And then let me draw, see, on the up. And again, you'll notice this is according to this right here. There's a lot of volume here and here. So down 36, 37% and up 37%. To be safe, you can go even lower. But this one, again, I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to actually, because this is a well-established token, I'm going to buy some of the token. I'm just going to buy a tiny bit here, 0.2 SOL. Again, this is the multi-day position here. This is a little bit slower earner, but it's a lot safer. Okay, I'm going to adjust here and go, actually, I'm going to stick with 75%. 75%. So 75% of that, I'm going to use the autofill because I want to go two-sided, make it even. I'm going to start out with spot. And we said 37% negative on the down and 37% on the positive on the up. Now this is creating 394 bins because this is a 20 bin step position. If I was using the 100, it would be a whole lot less, but the change in price on this one is not that great. Okay, it's just a little bit at a time. You see this 1 hour chart, it only moved 3%. Okay, and the thing you got to remember is the smaller the market cap, the more price impact any one individual trade is going to have. On a $319 million market cap token, a $1,000 trade barely moves anything on this. If this was, say, a $100,000 market cap token, then a $1,000 trade is going to have a much, much bigger price impact on the chart. So that's what creates that volatility. You can earn amazing fees on that, but you can also get amazingly wrecked on that. You have to learn how to balance that. Right now, we're still doing this. I will see here that I need 0.3 SOL to actually create this position because I'm using so many bins, but it's all refundable. So that's neat. I'm going to add this liquidity. And we're waiting. And it's not uncommon to see it do several transactions whenever you're doing a high bid and count. It actually said something failed, but we'll see if it actually did. I'm going to check here on my positions. I can see that I put in that much sold and that much useless. And looking at my position here, I got money in there. Okay. So now I'm actually going to stack this with the bid ask. I'm going to put the rest of the money in
That
bid
was
ask.
actually a veteran move right there, HMC, to just refresh the page if you get an error message.
Yeah.
That could end up confusing people.
Yeah.
And they'll end up double depositing or something like that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right, cool. So everything deposited that time. I've got it all in there, and now I have myself a spot bid ask. Now, why did I choose spot on this one? Because this is kind of it's really big market cap, slower moving token. And while the bid ask, can help with capital preservation, and all of that, buy low, sell high. If I've got a lot of those valley, if this thing stays down in the valley and I'm in a pure bid ask, I'm just not getting very much in fees. Okay. It's not a very high fee. There's not a very big dynamic fee because it's not volatile. So I want mostly spot on this. There's plenty of times whenever I just go pure spot on this. Okay. Because I'm expecting over time it to come down and swing back up. And I want that. I want it to move back and forth and just give me delicious, delicious fees for days and days. So that's what we're doing on that. Let's see if we can. I actually joined a rug earlier. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to go and pick that one, see what's happening on it. It's actually not moving that much. This one, Poly Soul. We'll look at the chart for it. We were looking at that chart earlier. Let's turn off this cloud here. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Looks like all the fun was back here, but this is what's going on that one. What I did with this particular token, though, is I went wide. I went pretty wide. I started out at like 70% pure bid ask. It's gone down a little bit. I've got a little bit in fees. I didn't have that much to put in it to begin with. But I'm gonna let this bake for a little bit and see what happens. I may pull out later. Let's see what's going on Fraud Coin. I think we looked at this one earlier. Let's check the charts. We're still doing good on time. Pop up the bubble map on it because I really don't know this token. Okay, so fairly even distribution on this one, not too bad. Tiny little clusters here. You can actually move these around. You can sit here and play with the rolls. This one looks okay. I don't see the same percentage over and over. This looks fairly organic, so I'm not too worried about that one. My tests look good. Okay. So looking at this 1 minute chart here, it's kind of ranging right here. So if you wanted to LP this token, you may want to set your top somewhere around here and then go down, and all the way down is like 100%. So you might pull back a little bit, 92%, something like that. But that's from that top. From right here, Oh, it's still telling me 90%. Okay. So yeah, negative 9%. Oh, I get it. I get it. That's from the starting point there, the current price. So anyway, you may want to go down to 90 something percent on this particular one.
You can
If
switch to the
you're-
log chart to get a more complete view of the price action
Yeah.
in the
And you can
bottom
also
right.
like here. I'm actually, you can look at. But I was actually looking at the market cap, but there's the log. You can see what's going on there. Let me zoom back. I just screwed up my chart auto. So there we go.
If you
37%. But I may want to go even lower actually on that one. But yeah, and that's something else that you guys notice here. I mean, we can see price, and you can switch between USD and Sol, or you can look at it through market cap. There's a lot of people who are looking at the market cap, right? They may be looking to see a trend once something hits 1 million or 2 million or 3 million, or if they're seeing something that maybe it started out at 2 million and now it's down to 400K, they may say, this is whenever I want to exit, or they may actually set their range from here to there, right? So that's how we would do it. Again, 1 minute chart. I'm just going to draw right here. That says 37%. But I super don't trust this token, so I would definitely go wider on that just to be safe. Probably about 70% on this one. So uncheck autofill, select my amount, hit bid ask, come down here, 70%, everything's refundable, and then that's it. It's probably one of the best plays you can possibly do. Now, again, if you do want to leave yourself some room, if you want to compound some fees back into this, just, didn't take, I think I forgot to click off of that. Let me withdraw and close that. Actually doing really good on time.
And of course, whoever's doing the
We're gonna
strat,
have
you're
some
gonna have to
fun
keep an eye on it. You have to keep watching it because the bid ask, the flip part doesn't happen automatically. So
Yep. You definitely have to watch it. Okay. We're gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna set negative 70. And I'm gonna set for giggles positive 20. You don't have to follow along with this, but we're gonna do something here. We're gonna add some liquidity here. All right, cool. Now we're going to get into the withdrawal. I'm going to select some bins to withdraw. I'm going to grab those right there. I'm going to say, give me 69% because that's funny.
man, the 1440 bins just makes all this so much easier. Love
Yes, it does. Once upon a time, the max bin count was 69, and to go really wide, you just had to create multiple positions, and doing a bid ask that way
Or
it
massive bin
required some work.
sizes. Yeah.
Yeah, it required some work. So anyway, we've got ourselves the making of a race car there. Here we go. 0.201. That's not very much. Let's go with 1. If I want to curve it, we could put a hood on this thing. This is not actual strategy. I'm just trying to show you guys what you can do. You can do funky things with this. And just that's the point, is you could do some awesome stuff with this stuff. With drawing, that's how it works. So anyway, that's that. Let me look here at thank you, Tone. We actually had a contest once. All right. I hope you get your own BMW, David. If you do, please post and tag me. I want to see that so bad. Let me get back to the presentation here. We have a few other things to cover in 40 minutes to do it. Okay. All right, so some tools to help you monitor your positions and kind of get an idea of how you're doing, right? One of them is lp4fun.vercel.app. It's made by Maddox Bug, longtime OG dealer member. He actually recently made some updates to this. I'll demo it for you, but you can see a live ROI on this and see kind of the different things that you did on the position. And I'll show you guys that right now. Going here, I entered my wallet already, and it's showing me all my active pools here for this particular wallet. And you can select multiples if you'd like. I mean, there's some data right here that's telling you, you know, liquidity, volume, fees, daily yield, your liquidity, where it is in the range, that sort of thing. If it's out of range, it'll tell you. And you can also just say, show me everything. And then there's a button for viewing the analytics. So we're going to let this load and see what we get. See how we're doing. See if I'm broke or rich. Okay. So it's giving me an overall summary on it. Current value, how much I've got invested, how much I've withdrawn, my ROI, and then it breaks it down by the pools. So this one right here, it's current value, how much profit I have, all these things. I can see where I'm wrecked, and I can see where I'm winning. Right now, it's not looking good for HMC. But on the individual ones, you can click show positions. And it'll give you, you can click these buttons here, like show details, and it'll tell you about your withdrawals, your deposits, any fees you have already claimed, any fees that you haven't claimed, and then it's current value. If you click show operations, it's going to show you everywhere that you added liquidity or removed liquidity. I'll show you a different one here. Show me the operations. You can see I've claimed fees quite a bit on this one. Now, the reason why these stacks look so big, I didn't actually add. You'll notice this is all like 10 days ago. I didn't actually add all of this. That's because of the Jito bundles, because it was a wider than 69 bin position. So that's why it looks like that. And if you actually click on it, it'll take you to the whole scan page for that transaction. So it's just a way to see some of the information on it. You're getting your ROI and all of this. So this is a great way to monitor your live positions. Okay. And we'll go back here to that. And now we have the Geek Lad. He is one of the original OG Bootcamp instructors. His profit and analysis tool. There's a link to it in every single pool. I'm not going to demo this one because it takes a long time to load. The longer you've had a wallet, the longer it's going to take. But basically, you just put your wallet address in and hit go. And it's going to give you a lot of data. You can see your profit denominated in quote tokens such as SOL, USDC. It used to report fees and MET points. That's all no longer relevant. It doesn't actually do that anymore. You can filter out. You can filter by a specific date range. If you're just wanting to see, like, what did I do in the last week, you can do that. And it's just going to tell you your cumulative profit by these tokens. So how you're going. So you can kind of see a trend by using this tool here. It's quite helpful to use. Just again, it may take a bit to load. And you can even download the information that it produces for you. And then there is another tool called Ultra LP. It's another one of our community tools. Rich King is the name of the guy that, if you have a question about it, he's the one to talk to. It is free to use. However, when you go there, you actually have to submit your wallet for approval by them because they don't just allow everyone to connect to it. You can DM him in Discord. His name is Rich King. You can DM him and ask for access to it. He will never ask you for a private key. If you got somebody asking you for a key, don't give it to him. He's just your public wallet address is all he would need to grant you access, and he does that for the LP Army. But let me show you guys this thing in action. Boom. Okay, so here we go. Let me change wallets here and go to the home page. Waiting. It's loading. All right. Okay. So this is going to give you information. You can say, show me my P&L in SOL or USD value. You can have it refreshed to see if anything's changed. And then you can see here your individual positions here. Like, am I up or down on this? Now, you may see something where maybe it's showing you you're up on one position in SOL, and then you click USDC and it shows a negative balance. And the reason for that is the change in price on SOL usually. So if SOL went down, the value of the position went down, so the US dollar amount went down. I usually only care about the amount in SOL, so I like to look at it that way. You can bring it here and you can get a breakdown of how much you deposited, how much is in it now, any unclaimed fees. You can see if it's in range or not. And you can even click here to get a further breakdown of that individual position. Again, more of that information here. some charts. And you can even see here where maybe you did some claims, withdraw that information there. We can see what our position looks like right here. And again, the chart for it, more pool information. Let's see here. Total fees earned, tokens. This is just the chart for FraudCoin, and this is the chart for Sol separately. And then we see our impermanent loss here. I am in profit by 1 cent. So I win. And going down here, you will see a little P&L card. You can actually, let's see. I think there's a place where you can claim fees directly here in this app. There it is right there at the top. If I wanted, I can claim fees that are on this from here. You don't have to use the DLMM for it. But anyway, really great tool. Not going to spend the rest of the day on it. But if you want to use it, hit up Rich King or just submit your wallet in the app and it will do it. And we will not be covering such things. I'm not going to show you how to use a third-party DLMM manager. We'll talk about that more here when we get close to graduation as to why. But yeah, we don't do that in Bootcamp. If I did, we would be here for 20 hours. All right.
Endless community tools. Yeah, a lot of good stuff out there, but
yeah, there is. In fact, Otto is. Go ahead and tell them.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to, but if there are any devs out there that want to make the experience even better, take a quick look around at all the different community tools that are already built. And then if you've got something to add, there's a Rising Incubator program that will help support developers that need to get past the initial building hurdle and have expenses and stuff like that. And then if you build something really popular, we can even do a larger grant. So,
yep.
And we funded about 10 projects. Yeah.
Otto is the Rising Incubator lead. But so here's one of the most valuable tools out there, lparmy.com. You can go and look at past boot camps. This one will be posted there. You can find previous boot camp translations. We've got stuff in Spanish, French, Portuguese, Turkish, Russian, Chinese. There's a lot of strategy guys out there. You will find the vetted community tools out there on that page. Global communities, we've got stuff from Africa to French and so on and so forth, all over the world communities. So if you are a part of those, a different language, you can connect with them and a lot of helpful links. So lparmy.com, it's one-stop shop for everything that you will need. Okay, so here's the point. This is the graduation form, folks. Scan this now. I want to talk about, we do not share these forms in our Discords or X anything. We want you to take the course. This form will be open for 1 week. After the end of today's live session, they will close on METOBER 23rd at 11:59 p.m. UTC. Will not be grading any forms until after the forms close. Please be patient, and it'll take some time to get all that done. But here's what you have to do, folks. You need to open one and only one DLMM position anytime between today, October 16th, and October 23rd. Now, you can open it on the 17th or the 18th or the 19th, whatever. And you can open multiple positions, but you can only submit one, and we're only going to grade one. If you do anything, if you have an old position before October 16th, it will be rejected. You must LP with a minimum of 100 USD value. You don't have to use USDC. You can use any token you'd like. You can use just one token. Like if you just want to use Sol, you can. If you want to go two-sided, you can. That's up to you. The total value of your initial deposit needs to be at least $100. Now, that being said, let's say HMC, I want to stack a strategy. I want to use a mix of spot and bid ask. Okay, fine. You wanted to put in $50 of spot and then immediately add $50 worth of bid ask. Cool, no problem. If you get those two deposits in within a couple minutes of each other, we'll grade it, no problem. If you wait, half an hour before you do it, I'm so sorry, that won't count. So it needs to look like you were trying to get it all in at once. We don't allow stable pairs, and likely it's very hard to graduate on a stable pair anyway. So USDC, USDT is not going to count. Tokens that are two versions of the same thing, such as CBBTC and WBTC, they're both BTC. That's considered a stable pair because they're pegged to each other. You can't do that. And Sol and any liquid staking token, whether it's LP Army Sol, Judo Sol, Jupe Sol, any of those, can't use that because the price of those is tied together. You need to LP for at least 1 hour. I see so many people fail because they LP'd for 5 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. If you do that, you're going to be failed. It needs to be at least 1 hour. You got to close that position before you submit it. You have to show at least 5% profit. Now, it's not just 5% in fees, but you need 5% in profit. Actually, I'm going to zoom in on this, make it a little bit easier to read. So you have to overcome your divergent or impermanent losses with your fees to gain at least 5% profit. We do not allow third-party dealing managers. I have no problem with things like HawkFi and MetEngine and all these, or copy trading. We don't allow that either. I don't have a problem with those. We want you to demonstrate that you understand and know how to do this through the UI on your own without any help. So if you use one of those, your submission will be rejected. And again, if you, as I said in the very beginning, and I also said yesterday, you must complete both days of this course in order to graduate. Okay, and yes, this question, it comes up, Sol USDC valid? Yes, because that is not a stable pair. While USDC is a stable coin, and Sol, some people kind of think of it as a stable coin. The two aren't, it's not a stable pair, okay? They're not tied to each other in price, okay? USDC, USDT, they're kind of pegged together, all right? They're about $1. Sol and a liquid staking token, they're tied together. When the price of Sol goes up, the price of that liquid staking token is going to go up. So this is 100% valid. Now, good luck on doing that. I've seen people win with that. Sometimes it's hard. It all depends on what the market's doing. So anyway, do we have any other questions on graduation? And okay.
I got a jet, HMC.
Oh. Yep. Thank you, Otto, for coming. Appreciate you.
Oh, looks like I froze on screen too. So good timing.
All right, brother. All right. Okay. So moving on. All right. So SolScan, we need to know how to use SolScan. I'm going to show you now just a little bit about grabbing a transaction off of it and how to generate a P&L card. You enter your wallet there on solscan.io, and then you want to go to the DeFi Activities tab. There you will see everywhere where you have added liquidity, removed liquidity, done a token swap, anything like that. And then right next to that, is a little copy button to copy the signature, aka the transaction or the TX ID. You copy that, and we will show you that right now before going into generating a P&L card. Window. There we go. Okay. Right. Let me grab. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you guys, let me do that real quick, is the portfolio. So portfolio shows you all of your open positions at any one given time. It's going to separate it out by pool types. So dynamic pools, we can see here my Sol USDC position that I created yesterday. It has earned, it's got 45 cents in fees that I can claim. And you'll notice here, like if it's in green, you're in range. If it turns yellow, you are out of range, and it'll tell you. But from there, you can click and go in and see what's going on with any one position. This one, we'll actually do our demo with this. It hasn't really earned too much in fees, but we'll see what's happening. I'm going to withdraw and close. Come on. Don't be slow on me now. You can click right here to copy that transaction. You can even click this button to generate a P&L card, but I'm going to show you the full process on SolScan. I'm going to copy my wallet address. Go to solscan.io. Drop in my wallet address. Come here to DeFi activities. And I see there's multiple ones of these. It's because of those Geo bundles. It doesn't matter which one that I pick. I could even pick the one where I added the liquidity. But I'm going to go with this one right here. I just pick one. I'll grab the signature. Okay. Now I'm going to go here to metlex.io and go to the, and it's writing me, so we'll reload that. Metlex.io. Okay, we're going to go to the P&L tab. And there's two choices, DLMM and the DAM-V2. You can generate a P&L card for the DAM-V2. Works the same way. I'm just going to show you the DLMM today. I put my transaction here and hit the rocket. And it pulls it up. So it'll tell me when I opened it, what the pair was, the price was. It'll show me everywhere that I deposited, if I did any withdrawals or claims, anything like that. It's going to demonstrate all of that for me. It'll tell me what my profit and loss is, total deposit, fees, and how much is worth withdrawal, and then how much profit I made overall. It will also tell me how long I've been in that position. Okay. Below here, this is what's called the Bootcamp checker. When you are submitting your transaction, you can come out here to Metlex and you want four green check marks. If you don't get 4 green check marks, don't submit that transaction because you will fail. But anyway, scrolling down, here is our beautiful P&L card. I made all of 42 cents. Woohoo. It'll tell me some information about the pools, the TVL, and what my percentage was. You can turn certain things off on this if you're not wanting to show it. You can have it show the percentage instead if you want to show that off. And there's actually a couple different background choices. There's the original and version 2 and version 3, the latest ones. Now from here you can either copy this and you can download this and you can post it on X. Send a copy to your mom so she can be proud of you. Maybe show your date, and that might work. Put it on your Tinder profile. I really would like to know if that works. But anyway, that's how you generate a P&L card. There is one other choice here, and it is the fees option. What you have to put in here is your wallet address. So I'm going to copy a wallet address and drop that in there. And then you need the DLMM address. And if you're coming into here, what you're doing is you're looking for, in the URL, you're looking for this right here, this section. So in between DLMM and the question mark, if it exists, that number right there, you come and you drop that into here and click the rocket. Hello. Do I get the whole thing? Maybe that's what it wants. I don't normally do this. Oh, no, it did it. It just took a second. So this is just showing me, this is just telling me overall fees. And it's not just a pure P&L, okay? Total claim fees is basically what it is, right? So this is what it's showing you. I don't really use it a whole lot, but if you think it's cool, you can go do it. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, I am not seeing any more questions, Photon. I must be doing it.
Everybody seems pretty good today, and they seem to be understanding.
Well, it's either that or they're asleep. But if you have not already joined our Discords, please do that. There's two, discord.gg/Meteora, and our community one, discord.gg/LP Army. If you're not LPing together, man, you're leaving money on the table. We do this together and it's way more fun. We thank all of you guys for joining us. If you haven't followed Meteora on X and the Met LP Army on X, I don't know how you're here, but those are there. If we need to have an additional Q&A section after this in the Discord, we can. Y'all let me know in chat. Do we need to have additional chat in the Discord, or are we good? We still have like 12 minutes left on the time. I am happy to have that. Okay, you would like that? Okay, cool. So printing and watching. All right, cool. Okay, so what I'll do is, as soon as Bootcamp ends, and we'll go to the LP Army Discord server, and we'll start up the Bootcamp stage. Give me a moment to go to the restroom and get a drink, but we'll start that up and we'll do some Q&A. You can ask questions in chat, and if you need to speak, to come up, we can bring you up on stage and let you talk. But other than that, it'll be your time. And Photon, I appreciate you once again coming on and helping out. Love that you do this and help me out. I could not do this alone. Okay, all right. Here's a question. I will gladly do that for you right now. I'll brought up the blue and yellow bars to the right of the chart. No problem. Okay, I'll go here and here, and I'm going to go just pick a token chart. And I'm going to delete it so that you can see how I did it. Okay, so let me just remove everything. Okay, get rid of my RSI, get rid of my MACD. So I have just a raw chart here, right? So I'm going right here. Zoom in. It's this FX little looking button, this fancy F like function. I click on that, and I'm looking for the volume profile visible range. I can just type VPVR. I already had that favorited, so it was already there, but I could just click that, and boom, I've got it right there. Yellows is sells and blues are buys. This looks like the range to have right there to capture the most volume. Again, I would remind you guys that even though this is the range to capture the volume, this is a fresh meme. It could go much lower. So sometimes you want to set your bottom even lower to capture fees on a dump. You can see this thing has dumped a couple times. And so you may want to go lower on some things just so that you stay in range and you recoup any losses. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions? I'm not seeing any other questions. So we'll end it and we'll head over to the Discord, ask questions. Good luck, everybody, on the graduation. And this was recorded, so you can always go back and watch it again. I appreciate you guys all joining me for the 20th English boot camp in the middle of METOBER, right before TGE. If you are here from Jupiter, welcome. We would love to have you join the LP Army. If you're from somewhere else, we're grateful to have you too. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope that you will learn how or start earning your own fees and making your life better, whether it's a little or a lot, whether that means that you do this for a living, or maybe you're just eating better than ramen, or maybe you had a second job and you're able to quit one of them, or maybe you're able to go live the VILP lifestyle like an awesome person. I really hope that that is you. So thanks again, everybody, for coming, and we will see you around. Rock on.